master, Mr. Keith Wallace. And also to our host of the night, Mr. Hendrik.
I'm afraid of heights. Oh.
Did you abseil into the room?
I don't know anymore.
It's very theatrical.
I thought you would like it.
I did. That's why I'm wearing the hat, as I wasn't allowed to abseil. But let's not talk about both of us, because we're here for something much more important. We're here for Get in the Ring.
That's right. But before we start, Keith, there's something else.
We do. We have a very special guest who's here. Someone who is elevating Dutch business, European business and startups. And I think it's time for us to invite His Royal Highness, Prince Constantine, to the stage. Big round of applause, please. Allow me to hand you a microphone.
Thanks.
We've met in the ring before in Rotterdam. And I asked you then a very similar question. How have you managed what so many people have failed to make, I'll move further away, to put entrepreneurship and startups back in the center stage of policy in this country, to make the startup scene something that people to aspire to be part of?
I don't think you asked me that question. Okay. I said, I don't think he asked me that question at the time, but it's a good intro. I know I didn't do anything. I mean, this is just all here. And I've just been in this role very recently. And I think the good thing is it's all there. The energy is there, the talent is there, the technologies are there, the businesses, the finances, it's all there. So it's really about unlocking that and linking it up. An event like this supports that. So my role is just to connect a bit and maybe to lubricate a bit and to put the spark plug in.
What has been the thing that has really shocked you in the last year? The thing that you'd like to see improve most of the ecosystem here in Holland? I try always to give you a more difficult question because...
Well, I'm not easily shocked. If I would be shocked if you see that there are incredible technologies, but they're going nowhere. And you think that these are technologies that actually can change the world. And they're not, there's no entrepreneur that really picks it up and makes it grow. Or we all see, you get these rounds, you see a technology coming back and forth, and you talk to investors and say, did you see this? Isn't it a great thing? Yeah, we saw it a year ago, we saw it 2 years ago. You see that something that's really good is not picked up, is not brought forward. And that, I think, is a shame.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, we had in the ring a company that's gone on to sell to Alibaba for more than $100 million. So there is a path for companies that go through the Get in the Ring concept. What can we do to get more Dutch startups into the point that they sell internationally, that they become the true unicorns of this age?
Well, we're doing it.
We're doing it. I think that deserves a very big round of applause. Do you have any message for the startups that are coming on stage this evening? Some encouragement that might get them to present better and get the investors and the public on side?
Yes, actually, I think one is inspire people, grab their attention. So don't start talking about that you're a platform and sharing this, or you an old kind of a SaaS solution, or these kind of things. I don't think they will, because they're well trained. But also make it clear what you are contributing. Very often you get these wonderful pitches, and you think, okay, this will change the world, but how are you contributing to it, and how are you going to get it to reality? So if you can capture the imagination, but also link that to their solution and how they are actually the factor that's going to deliver that, that would be great.
Super. And as my last question, because I know you probably don't want to stay in the ring for much longer, what have you seen today that you thought, wow, that is a company or that is a concept that I'd like to see more of?
Well, I'd like to say you're a hat, but...
I do apologize for the hat.
No, I have to give a generic answer here. One is that we had a meeting this morning with Impact Ventures and also enablers of Impact Ventures. I think that's really important. So entrepreneurs that are doing something to improve the world, the environment, the way we live, our energy footprint, and we're kind of bringing those together to see if we can create an environment where they can scale up faster. And basically bring all of the good energy that's all around the country together and say, well, just tell us a few things that we can do together to make all of us perform better. I think that's basically what's happening here. People find the right connections, talk to people they might otherwise not talk to, and I think that's very inspiring. And you find among this audience, thousands of good ideas that can actually make a real impact. And what I hope is that what we do by bringing you all together is that some of those ideas actually make it into real businesses and make it into big businesses that will actually have the impact that the potential of actually deliver the potential that that they have.
Yeah. To create some jobs for the population and to create real economic growth.
Well, that's one impact. I think we are in a business where jobs are not the main issue. I think we are actually there's a shortage of skills and talent. And so we have to import some of those jobs. So you see that with fast-growing companies, they're actually in need of that talent. So and we have this debate about bringing companies to the Netherlands, and you say, well, actually it's not our interest to bring any kind of company to the Netherlands, because if you bring IT companies, they're all fighting for the same programmers, the same designers, and we already have a shortage of them. So the call is to the government. We need to train our own pool of engineers, our own pool of designers and programmers, and grow that. On the other hand, create also opportunities for global talent to come here and work together. And we want to attract those companies that have a real strategic impact on the ecosystem, be it in the sector, but be it also maybe a provider of financial services. And that's the kind of strategic focus that we want to apply.
Wonderful. And we're here in one of the education centers, I think the biggest hogeschool in the country, in the Hague Hogeschool, where they're training up some of these fine people. And with some international talent, some of which we have in the room today as well, we can make it as the Netherlands. Thank you so much for being here in the ring, and thank you so much for being here today. It always brings our heart up when we have great support from the Startup Delta and from yourself personally.
Thank you.
Could we have a very big round of applause? Thank you.
Mr. Wallace.
Mr. Halbe.
Shall we start?
I think we should. It's time to figure out a bit about Get in the Ring, because some people haven't been here before. How many people have never seen Get in the Ring before?
Oh, mami.
They're so polite, they just put their hands up. Let's see if we can get a bit more noise out of the audience. How many people haven't seen Get in the Ring before? Okay, let's try it the other way. How many people have seen Get in the Ring before? We have a home crowd. Hendrik, why don't I pass over to you to give a bit of a history of Get in the Ring, and then I'll take people through the concept.
It was in 2012, and I was organizing a lot of events to inspire young people. But a lot of events are boring. And I thought, if you want to inspire new generations, why not make business a little bit of a fun? And have a little bit of a more inspiring event. Second, a lot of students, they were not so ambitious. They were not going international, they stay national. So I said, let's try to make a concept where you can go international. Third, we want to help startups. We want to connect them to opportunities, to investors, to corporates, to talent, to your employees. And last, a lot of the pitches of startups suck. They miss information. And I heard it today again when people were pitching for the jury. I said, they're not trained, the pitch is not good. So we said, let's change the concept, and they have to answer certain questions, like what is your team, what are your achievements, etc. Keith will come back to that. Today, we had 300 startups applying for Get in the Ring. 100 or 80 of them were selected to pitch in front of the jury the whole day long. And only at 6 o'clock, we choose the 6 most promising, and they will be on stage here. We had some complaints in the past that there were battles that were unfair. So we have 3 weight classes: lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. Lightweight is below 1 million of valuation. Middleweight is above 1 million, and heavyweight, 5 or 10?
10.
10. I'm still arguing with that. So that's a little bit the concept. We have the 6 most promising. Back to my 4th point, the pitching. It's always very bad. So we changed it. Keith, what did we change?
Well, we've changed it because we figured out that most people like to talk about their concept when they're pitching. And there's nothing more boring than listening to people's concepts. So we broke it up. Instead of hearing a 5-minute pitch, you will hear from each of the contestants that come into the ring a 1-minute introduction of themselves and their company. But then we move into a battle royal of 5 rounds. And I'm going to take you through the rounds because they're the important things that the investors and larger companies want to know about. Round 1. What is the team? How good are the team? What have they achieved in the past? And what are they likely to achieve in the future? Then round 2. Achievements. Let's stop storytelling and let's figure out what they've actually done. Have they got turnover? Have they got partners? We'd like to know. No storytelling, over to fact. Then we move on to round 3. Business model and market. How do the companies make money? And how big a market is there? How much money could be made? We then go on to the 4th round. And that 4th round is a financial proposition towards the champions, who we'll be introducing soon, the VIPs, who have very nice bubbles I see on their tables. Well done, guys. And also to everyone out there in the audience. And to our fine students who are up high that we can't quite see. Well, we have 400 students from the Hague School. Thank you for being here too. Now, there is a 5th round, and the 5th round is the one that we both like most, because it's the time that we can spar in the ring. We call it freestyle, but it's basically the last chance that each side has to give the knockout blow to their opponent. Why should they win? And most importantly, why should their opponent lose?
So, 2 startups, blue corner, red corner, 5 rounds, 1 winner. Clear?
We're going to
Clear? Oh.
And we make a promise to you. We're keeping this short. 1-minute introduction. The rounds are 30 seconds long. Then you will hear the sound of a bell. And if the bell sounds, we will stop the person in the ring, and we will carry on.
So, this concept we started in 2012. And today, or last year, we were in 80 countries around the world, and we expect to grow this year to 100 countries. So it's also an export product of the Netherlands. The winners of every battle, they go to Singapore in May to the global conference of Get in the Ring. So, there we'll have 200 startups from 100 countries in Singapore, and I hope you join us there. Now,
I think it's time to move on. We are missing some very important people, and those are the people that will be here in the very comfortable white chairs. Those are our champions this evening, because all of you get to give an idea of how you'd like to vote for either blue or red corner, because I think you found, I see most of you holding them, your glow sticks. So we're going to try something. Let's see if this works. Can we dim the light slightly? I'd like to see you hold up your blue glow stick and wave it around so we can see them.
No.
Wow, those are really bright. You're going to have to shake them a little more to get those things activated. Let's try the other one. Let's try the red glow stick. This is going to be fun. All right, we will have people looking to see whether it's blue or red. Hendrik, I think it's time for us to invite our fine champions, the people who will decide after you give your views over who should win, to the stage. Could we have the champions, please? We have coming down Helene van Oord, Han de Groot, and Steven Skorman. They're coming down one of the staircases here. Come join us in the ring. Hendrik.
Welcome. Can you tell you a little bit about yourself? Because not everybody knows you. You were to America, you were gone in the Netherlands, so it's a good introduction maybe.
My first name is Han, last name de Groot, as they say in the US. I started 16 years ago an online survey research business called Metrics Lab. Today it's called Macromill. It is the largest online survey research provider in the world. We employ 1,600 people, $250 million in revenues, and I'm delighted to be in the jury here today. Thank you.
And that's why you're a champion. But you also had a big exit. We always want to know numbers a bit. What was the exit?
Oh, the exit is only partially executed.
Oh, okay.
And it's a kind of the first time that somebody asks me this in public. So I have to ask the lawyer for the answer.
Okay,
but
so you can say nothing.
It was close to 200 million.
Okay, so we know who we're talking to. And he's also investing in startups, so I think it's a real champion to have here. Thank you, a round of applause. Helene, also for you, a small introduction. I think quite a lot of people know you, or should know you. Can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, with pleasure. Helene van Oord, I'm an entrepreneur. The company I co-founded is called DQ&A. It's an online media company, currently in 12 countries and 450 staff.
You also invest in startups, right? You're also involved in a fund. What's that?
Co-founder of Peak Capital. And Peak Capital, we are already in our third fund. So we have 13 investments. And we invest in early stage companies. So starting $500,000 revenues.
And what do you look at in startups? If they are in stage, what is your favorite point? Like, what do they have to show in the ring?
Of course, ambition, scalability, team is what we're mainly looking for.
Good answers. Thank you. Steven, a unicorn I heard. Can you tell us something more about that? Applause for Helene, sorry. Can you introduce yourself a little bit and your company? Because I heard some things about it, but not everybody knows it maybe.
Most of it is not true, so. So I'm Steven. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been part of 3 companies before. The first 2 were sold. About 4.5 years ago, I founded a company called Elastic, which is a company that builds open source search and analytics software. We've been building it out over the past 4.5 years, and right now we employ a little bit over 400 people, spread out over 35 countries, and it's going pretty well.
If you look at startups, what's the main point when they're successful? What do you think they need to be successful?
I think the most important part for every company, and definitely for startups, is the quality of their staff. So you have to have an amazing team in order to be able to execute really well.
That's the first round of Get in the Ring, and that's the reason for it. Thank you very much. A round of applause.
Hendrik, I think it's time for us to get started with a battle. I'm going to head to the bar and leave you here in the ring, if you don't mind.
Perfect.
Good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for our first battle of the night? The lightweight battle between the red and the blue. Can I have some music? And you're ready for the lightweight battle? In my blue corner, Fresh Stripes! And in my right corner, we park! How do you do? Fresh Stripes? What do you want?
Fresh strips.
Fresh Strips. Blue corner. And the red
Hi.
corner.
How are you doing?
We park.
Yes.
That's something with parking.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got that. So what is it, a parking app?
It's a parking app, but something different that's already now in the marketplace. So basically what we do is we offer valet parking via your smartphone. It's real easy, hence the name. We pick up people's cars in the city center. You give your location in the app, and one of our drivers will meet you there, take over the car, park it into one of our secured lots, and return it whenever, wherever. And we're now live in Amsterdam and also Schiphol Airport.
Okay, that's enough. That's the introduction, huh? Come on.
Okay.
Fresh Strips.
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 Yes.
Something with food?
Yes.
I'm good. Okay.
So apparently there's this huge problem because around 1 out of 6 Americans get food poisoning every year. And in addition to this, we throw away around 30% of all of the food that we produce globally, annually. So both of these problems are essentially related to the current obsolete expiration labeling system that we use. So we at Fresh Strips, we are developing a dynamic expiration label. It's basically a simple plastic sticker that gets attached to food packages, and whenever the food becomes inedible, it changes color. So the consumer can actually see that it's no longer safe to eat.
Keith, where are you?
Hendrik, I was at the bar having a very nice glass of wine.
Did you understand what he was doing?
I did, yes.
Okay, can you explain it? Because I didn't get it quite well. What's the one sentence?
That's very evil of you to. I was having a discussion with a team member, but it's
Let's ask
over
one of the
food
others.
expiration, I believe.
So there's a strip to know if the food is still ready.
Exactly. It changes color, it goes from green to red, so you know that the food is no longer good.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Are you ready for the first round?
Yes.
Team, who wants to go first?
My
My
opponent.
blue corner,
Thank you.
Strips, take it away, 30 seconds, team.
Okay. So our team is essentially comprised from experts from Ernst & Young and High-Tech Excel, so we know how to do business development, financials, business model and innovation management, and of course we're very fortunate to have the TUE lab of functional organic materials and devices that are actually experts in the product that we are developing. They're experts in the plastics that we're using in our device. Thank you.
You even have time left. He's fast.
Yeah, he's really fast.
Can you beat it?
I think so, yeah.
You have 30 seconds, take it away.
Thank you. We were 3 co-founders. Once again, my name is Tim. Iskander is one of my colleagues. He's highly specialized in operations. And there's a lead tech who's also the CEO of a tech company here in Amsterdam. And they've been working with their tech team on a lot of TV applications, GPS tracking, and data algorithms, which makes the perfect match with WePark.
You're all in time. Or my timing is not right, that can also be. So, if you have a good team, you have a good team, right?
Yes, definitely.
When did your company start? When did you start with your company?
Actually, September.
September. And you?
Actually, January.
January. So
Yes.
you have some achievements, right?
Definitely.
Okay, you can take it away. Red corner, 30 seconds, achievements.
First of all, the biggest achievement has been to get from January to June from a single piece of paper to a fully working app live in the city of Amsterdam. Next to that, we've gained traction in 3 pillars, in the corporate market, hotel sector, and event locations, and growing on month for the last 4 months now.
You're all in time. Wow. That's the first time I have this in the battle. Achievements.
Okay.
30 seconds.
We just started this September, and immediately we built a great business plan and entered a competition hosted by Merck in Germany. And we won the Displaying Futures Award against top teams from all over the world, Imperial, Cambridge, America, you name it. And we won because Merck believed in our business plan and in our tech. And this also got validated just last week when we partnered up with the world-leading lab of food chemistry and technology from the NTUA. Thank you.
Sorry. Round of applause for both. Come on. Okay, you have a good team. You have achievements. I heard nothing about how you make money. And you can make a lot of money, or it's a small market. Business model and market. Round 3. Business model market, 30 seconds.
Okay. The market that we are addressing exceeds 15 billion worldwide. It's the smart packaging market. We are selling to food retailers, food producers, and pretty much anything with food packaging. And we also want to expand into the medical supplies business. We also have a great product that is 20 times cheaper than our greatest competitor, and we can build a device in 2 years' time that will be the most accurate in the world, predicting when food is edible.
In 2 years' time.
Right now, we already have the product, and we feel very confident about how accurate it is, but we want to add additional functionality and create a sensor that is not currently available in the market. We want to measure heat exposure to the food, CO2, oxygen, anything that can spoil food. While right now in the market, the technology available only measures heat, maybe CO2.
So in 5 years' time, where do I find your product? Where is it?
Sorry? In 5 years?
Your product in 5 years' time?
Yes.
Where do you find it?
It's everything. We can put it on vaccines, we can put it on insulin vials, we can put it on meat and poultry packaging. And just to give you a sense of how profitable we could be, just by attaching it, let's say, to Magnum ice cream, it's produced by Unilever, maybe somewhere around here. So basically, just by attaching it to that, it's 1 billion packages. Even if we went 1 euro cent on each package, we're good.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a big market.
It is, yeah.
You're only in Amsterdam, right?
Still, yeah, okay. Until this
Business
point.
model market, take it away.
Well, the total addressable market is a bit bigger than only Amsterdam. It's actually any major city center in Netherlands. So you have to think about Utrecht, Rotterdam, but also all the major airports like Schiphol. And that's just for the Netherlands, but of course also in other neighboring countries. Our business model is really simple. We charge you 25 euros up to 5 hours of parking. That's all inclusive, and 35 for the whole day. And we have monthly subscriptions for corporates.
How much is that?
It depends on the quantity.
Come on.
It starts from 349 a month.
Okay, good. And when do you expect to be European or international?
I'm not quite sure. Now the focus is for the Netherlands for the coming year, and then we have to evaluate and continue.
What's your next country?
And next country is going to be Germany.
Germany, a bridge too far. Financials and propositions. So, did you make any money? How's your cash flow? Do you need money? Tell me about it. 4th round.
So we just started, as I mentioned, 2 months ago, but we're really already cracking down on client engagements. We're trying to get an engagement with Avery Dennison, a leading packaging industry, and we really would like some more clients to test our product, fine-tune it for specific applications in the food market. And of course, we're always looking for eager new members to join our team and help us bring this to market successfully.
On time. Take it away. 4th round.
We're preparing now a new investment round for end of the year. But next to that, we're also looking for corporates who have a disbalance between the supply and demand of their cars within their organizations. So if you have that, please give a shout and let's have a beer at the bar and discuss further.
But You have cash flow, you're positive, or...
So we've been live for 4 months. We've been growing with a rate of 50%, and yeah, we continue to do so.
Did you put money yourself?
Yes, definitely.
How much?
Well, that's gonna be my previous salary for the last 9 months now. So.
Did you put cash money in it?
No.
Okay. Did you put cash money in your company?
Nope, didn't
How
have
many
to.
time? Okay. Just questions we need to know. So, last round. Stand here. This is the freestyle round. No spitting, no biting. Only arguments, okay?
Got it.
We'll
Okay, a
keep it
little
clean.
bit of fight can be. You're the tallest. Yeah, you have 30 seconds to convince them, but especially the champions.
Yes.
So we're going to turn around a bit. You have to convince them to go to Singapore. 30 seconds. Who wants to start?
Our product is so simple in user experience and in the whole algorithm that we believe it's highly scalable, not only for Amsterdam, but for other cities as well. And if I see where we've been from January up until now, I think we can multiply that definitely in the coming period.
Okay, we still have time. 30 seconds, freestyle.
Okay. So I'm gonna be a little bit harsh. So parking is an okay problem, okay? It's very good to solve it, can be very profitable. What we are offering is a chance to stop a bigger problem. There's currently $1 trillion in food-related waste every year. We need to do something about it. And we've just demonstrated to you what we can do in 2 months. Just give us this validation and see what we can do in 1 year.
Okay, you're much too nice to each other. Why you're better than him?
Because I have a much better potential at social impact.
Social impact, what do you have?
I think we have a highly scalable product which not regulation bounded in some kind
Oh,
of
yes,
way.
regulation boundaries.
I think
I am
so.
not regulation bounded.
But I think
yeah, you
at
have,
some
yeah,
point
yeah.
you got to have a discussion with supermarkets regarding their expiry dates right now and with your product in the near future.
He's right now?
Yeah, but currently also the regulators are on our side, actually. There's currently a bill in the US Senate, I made it really boring right now, sorry, that actually is starting to demand changes in the current expiration labeling system.
Keith, questions?
Champions, it's time for questions to either our blue corner or red corner. Who'd like to go first?
So this gentleman, that's the blue corner.
Blue corner, you see on the...
Yeah, exactly.
If he steps aside, woo, blue.
Oh, nice.
Huh? Red, okay.
Thank you, I get it now. Now, one of the things that's interesting about your product, that I think that it could potentially solve a massive issue that we're facing across the world. However, one of the biggest challenges I would see thinking about this is that it's risky, in the sense that there's many different factors that could lead to spoiled food. Now, if you only get it wrong once, you could potentially get yourself into trouble because your fresh strip says that it's fine, and it's not fine because it didn't detect something, a bacteria or something that was in there. How do you think about addressing that one?
Well, at this moment, we won't have this problem immediately because we're not saying just scrap everything, we'll do it immediately, we'll put strips on the milk right now, take away the expiration date or anything like that. We're just saying start using it, we'll fine-tune it, and at the moment we also have great partners that can help us predict it very accurately. So if you look at specific foods like fish and poultry, there are very good models right now, analytical models that predict when it's going to go bad considering specific parameters. So for specific foods, I think the tech is already there, but then again, we're not asking anybody to just trust on this. We just want to add more safeguards to the products.
Okay.
Thank you.
Helene.
Yes, blue corner again. I'll get back to you later. The food producers, how do they respond? I guess it's not in their interest.
Well, it depends. One of the primary, there have been attempts to similar technologies in the past, okay? So what usually people went wrong with is they would make a continuously changing time temperature indicator, which would mean that you would start green, then it would change a little bit to less green, then it would go to red. So when a person would walk into the supermarket, you would look at the salads, you'd say, I want the most fresh product, like the best. So you would go with the specific shade of gray. What we're doing is basically green or red, and that's it. Go, no go. So this doesn't necessarily need to disrupt the way that the supermarkets and the food producers work.
Do you have a question for the red corner?
Yes, I have one. I do have one. A question for Tim from WePark. You mentioned 25 euros up to 5 hours, I think 35 euros for a whole day. I love big numbers, and your competitor referred to 1 billion or trillion packages even, I think it was.
Yes.
Do you know how many people from the parking population, if you will, in the Netherlands do spend more than 25 euros and above? So how many people are we talking about? Or in terms of euros, how much money is spent in that specific segment? Because it's pretty expensive.
Definitely, yeah. What we see now is that in Amsterdam, the average parking time is 4 hours. And the rates in the city center are diverse between 5 to 7 euros per hour. So we think it's balanced, and there's a small surcharge. But yeah, that's the proposition.
Super. I'm afraid there are no follow-up questions because time is money. So, I think we've had some questions from our champions. They're going to have a discussion over who they'd like to support. But maybe it's the time to reduce slightly the lighting, if we can, and see those sticks.
More than last time, please.
One last time, either blue or red. So, let's look out into the audience. Who do we see, Hendrik? Is it blue or is it red?
I can see nothing with the light.
I'm looking up here where I can see, and I'm seeing a sea of blue.
I think blue.
Blue?
Okay.
Blue.
Only the blue. Raise your hands. Now only the red. Raise your hands. Okay, that's the blue winner.
Well, I think the room has spoken, but you are allowed to go against the room. So let's move into the audience. Maybe you'd like to throw that fine thing, Hendrik. You're so much more athletic than I. Does someone in the audience have a question?
Yeah, I have a question for the blue gentleman. Is it possible for a retailer to influence in any way your device?
Influence it in what manner?
If a typical food is going to go bad soon, can they change in any way?
You mean? No, they cannot. Absolutely not. It's basically a liquid crystal plastic strip that changes color only by heating it. So you cannot reverse the process.
So they can't influence it?
No.
Thank you.
More questions?
This time for the red corner.
Yes, please. It would be great. I love WePark very much. One question is, you know about autonomous cars and self-driving cars.
Yes.
How will this influence your business model in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, in the next 5 to 10 years, I think it's not going to influence it that badly. But in the long run, of course, it's going to come there. There will be some point, but we think on the technology side, we might be ready to make a change from a valet to a virtual valet in the longer term future.
Yeah, so you're ready for the future, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, thanks.
Super. I think our champions are getting ready to vote. So, Hendrik, it's time for
Let them vote. Can you make your vote? Yeah?
It's happening.
Okay. Last question. Somebody? Oh.
We do apologize in advance for any injury caused by Hendrik's very bad. Is there a question over there? Did we really injure someone?
Yeah, a lot of cities have trouble with visitors to come to the cities for the red corner. to come to the cities because of the height of the parking costs. And you are scaling on the same height and the parking costs as the rest of Amsterdam. Do you think that's clever?
Yeah, we think we do. There's a combination to be made between the disbalance in supply and demand. So current commercial lots are underused and the demand is ever rising. So I do believe that people who really want to travel from A to B have a product with WePark that they can use, and they can use not only in Amsterdam but in any city in the near future to make that happen.
Okay.
Do we have a winner? I need some help. So, the lights will be blue or red, the champions. And the winner of the battle, lightweight battle is, I hope my assistant will show me. Blue! Who is it?
Congrats, man. Congrats. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Hendrik, amazing first battle. I think we should move on to the second.
Do your job.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are we ready for the second battle? It's time to move from lightweight to middleweight. So let's do that. Let's get two people into the ring. In the blue corner, we have Flex Appeal, Ruben Bijman.
Waarom laat niemand mij weten wie de
In
winnaar is?
the red corner, Eduardo.
Waarom laat niemand mij weten wie de winnaar is?
Let's get in the ring. It's a long walk. And Eduardo is represented by Goddard van Hardebroek. Wow, even props are being brought in. Quite against the rules, but I see we're allowing it today. Welcome to the ring.
Hey. Let me park this.
Damn.
Now remember, anything you take into the ring, you take out at the end.
All right.
Welcome, gentlemen, let's shake hands.
Hey, man.
Nice to meet you.
Nice boat.
You know the rules, you saw what happened before.
Yes.
We're going to take the tempo up a bit, which means shorter answers to questions from you, and also shorter questions from our champions. Ready?
Yes.
Ready?
Absolutely.
Hit us with your introduction.
Hi, my name is Ruben. Only 3 years ago, I was working at Jumbo. I was a part-time employee, just like a lot of other people in high school. Who else had a part-time job? Say yeah? Okay, so I was struggling with combining it with school. If I could not work, I have to call, WhatsApp, email all of my colleagues. It took me 3 hours. And one night I thought, why not make an app where we can swap shifts more easily? And I found some people crazy enough to build this app. And actually when we implemented this app, we found out there's a bigger problem. Employees are not engaged with these companies. Companies use newsletters, internets, email to engage with these employees, and that does not work anymore. With Flex Appeal, we made the app for work that truly engages employees at big companies like Albert Heijn, Amsterdam Arena, and Randstad, and we're not done yet.
The most important sentence was about exchanging shifts with your coworkers, yes?
Yeah, that's how it started.
Exchanging shifts is how it started. Super. Let's move over to the red corner.
All right. So the world is shifting to renewable and electric. And in the leisure marine industry, where we are working, by the way, I'm Godert van Hardebroek from Eldorado, forgot that. That transition is happening very rapidly, and it's exponential growth at the moment. But only slow electric boats have been successful. And the fast electric boat has been this elusive dream, and nobody cracked the code yet. In fact, we found more than 40 that tried. And we now to refer to this as the electric graveyard, because they're all dead in the water. The answer is, and we have brought a model, is combining hydrofoils with battery electric. And this really changes the proposition and makes that we can successfully conquer this market.
Super, thank you. Was it clear, champions? Yes, good. Then, gentlemen, we move over into the rounds. Let's start across here where we finished. Let's hear about your team, round one.
Round one. So, Iterator was founded by myself and Giel Groothuis. Giel has started an incubator in Shanghai, very successful. I am a bit of an electric speed freak, I have to admit. I started a company called Formula Zero, and I can say that we are the intellectual father of what is now Formula E. And we also added somebody to the team, among others, that is the hydrofoil designer of the world champion in
Thank you. World
America's
champions on this side. Can you beat that?
I think so, absolutely.
Go at it.
So we are with a team of 8 full-time, highly motivated people. They're over there, say flex appeal. Absolutely. And we are young, motivated people, but we also have very experienced people. But the most important thing is we're all very motivated by our mission. We all believe in our mission to engage employees. We have very experienced developers, of course. We don't want bugs. Ooh, that was fast.
We love to see that you're after your mission. But have you achieved anything yet?
Well, can I answer?
Round two, achievements.
Oh, great. Well, I'm very proud of the achievements we have so far, but we're not halfway there. I'm very proud that we raised 200,000 euros. We got great clients like Albert Heijn, Randstad, Amsterdam Arena, Gamma, Karwei, and we're not done yet. And the most amazing thing is we truly believe in our mission, like I said, but we're not done yet. And I'm proud that we pivoted from shift swapping to truly make a world a better place.
Wow. We're going to come back to that in questions, I'm sure. Can you beat those achievements?
Well, I think, yes, of course. I mean, the biggest thing that we found is that we resonate with the market a lot. So we found more than 40 articles, publications about us, and that resulted in 16 pre-orders, which represents more than 2 million euros, actually. And on top of that, we secured a distributor in the United States because we feel that this is a key market.
Super. We're going to stick with you.
Sorry?
Because you already went on to how big the market is. So let's move on to round three, business model and market.
All right. So as mentioned, we believe that US is the biggest market. The total global market for this type of conventional gasoline-powered boat is about 95,000 a year. And about 2/3 of that is in the US. So we really felt that we needed to go there. And our vision is that we disrupt one of the existing gasoline-powered companies. So we think that 2,000 to 3,000 boats or 200 to 300 million revenue is really achievable.
Well done. Super. Let's move across to your opponent. That sounded good to me.
Sounded
is your
good,
market even bigger?
I think so. Bigger than boats. So if you imagine that you're walking in a shopping street, look at all these companies where these employees work. There are lots of employees not engaged at this very moment. So we're focusing on the companies with lots of employees, but we're focusing right now on retail companies because the gap between the organization and the employees is the biggest. And that are like companies like Albert Heijn, like we have Jumbo. Jumbo, I know you're in the room. We should get in contact.
Now, you're going to get penalties for going over your time. But let's continue with you, because you wanted to go a bit more into financials, into a proposition towards the room here. I would suggest you focus on these people, because there are a lot of investors up there.
Yeah.
What are you looking for, and how much you making right now?
So the main thing is that we want people that believe in our mission. So people that want to work for us, customers that want to use our app, and investors that want to invest in us. We already have 200,000, but we're looking now for 500,000 for the beginning of next year to grow even bigger in the Netherlands and hopefully be cash flow positive very soon in 2017.
Super, but no real ask? You don't want money from them? What do you give back?
I didn't hear you.
What do you give back for any investment that comes into you?
we can have a good discussion about that.
A good discussion. Ooh. Can you offer more than a good discussion to the room?
Well, I can offer a very attractive proposition for sure. So we have invested about 100,000 euros ourselves, and we got a subsidy from Dutch government of 200,000. And with this, we developed a working scale model, so 1-to-5 scale model, and all this other stuff that I mentioned. And now we're looking for 350,000 euros to literally scale up. To a 1-to-1 scale working prototype, and then another 450 to go really to the market.
Thank you. Very, very clear. I think it's time, Hendrik, to invite you to come over here, because we're going into our freestyle round, and this could get messy. Gentlemen, I'd like to see a shake of hands right now.
Oh.
Good luck. Okay. So, this is your last chance to convince those people, and these fine people, that you should go forward to Singapore. You can fight dirty if you like. It's entertaining. Bring the crowd with you. You know I should win. Don't be polite. Over to you.
Okay, so I think what we show is that once you believe you can do it, once you really want to hit your goal, and you want it as much as you want to breathe, you can hit it. And I want it to be an inspiration for all of you that want to start something. If you want it as bad as you want to breathe, you will succeed. And I think our story shows that if you want something, you can get it. And that is what entrepreneurs do every day. And I think we proved it. We're not there yet, but we proved it.
He's so nice.
That was very impassioned. Well done. I think the room is with him at this moment. You've got 30 seconds to try and bring it back your way.
All right. So, first of all, I'm 100% convinced that the future of powerboating is electric. And we are uniquely positioned to create an electric powerboat under $100,000 US. And this means that we will be able to compete head-on with all the conventional gasoline-powered powerboats. And for an investor, we offer a very good, exciting possibility of return on investment with hardware. And let's face it, if you're an investor, I have to finish my sentence.
Saved by the bell. No, I'm afraid not. We're sticking to time. But maybe
But it was such a good pun.
I know, but maybe one of our fine champions will help out. Hendrik.
Maybe it'll come out.
Hans, you have a question?
Question for Ruben. What does a client, or what do you envision that your typical client, you referred to Ahold earlier on, what would they pay if they would use your service? Or basically if their employees would use your app?
So of course they pay for the amount of value they get from it. At this moment, we have a very simple app where this organization like Albert Heijn can reach all of their employees. So for example, they want to reach all of the shelf stackers in South Holland. They can do it with our app. But we are now focusing on the broader employee experience picture. So that includes onboarding of employees, giving more recognition to employees, training employees, and when we build those products on the FlexiPeel platform, we will ask for more money because we bring more value. So now you pay of the amount of employees using it, and it's €2 an employee a month.
Thank you very much. Helene.
Blue corner. Imagine you get your 500K funding by the end of the year. What are the top 3 first actions you're going to execute upon?
So at the moment, we have a very good community platform for in the stores. But we want to make our organizational platform even better. So the organization can do more with our platform, so we can bring those 2 planets closer together. So that's what we want to focus on with our money, to get more people on the product team to build that. And on the other side, we want to have more marketing and sales people to get these customers from the old world to the new world. And we want to reach 100,000 employees in December of next year.
Okay, Steven.
So a question to the red corner. So how much money do you need, and when would the first boat basically see water?
So how much money to go to the first sea water? So 350, we can make the mule, as it's called. So we'll sit on fruitkistjes, but it won't look good, but it will work. And then another 450 to get really production ready and be able to deliver.
Thank you.
One last question from one of the champions. You know enough? Know enough?
Blue team, are you planning, because Steven and I, we both spend a lot of our time in the US.
Yes.
And I actually moved to the US
Yes.
to run the business. Are you planning to move?
Actually, my business partner is, yes. He's in Shanghai at the moment, but it makes more sense to be in the US.
Super. Hendrik, I think it's time to go into the audience.
Audience, make your votes.
We're lowering the lights. It's time to hold aloft those glow sticks. And we're going to do the same thing Hendrik did. If you're holding up your blue glow stick right now, keep it in the air. Aha! And now, let's have the red glow sticks in the air. Ooh. It's very much tied out there. So, let's have a question or two from our audience and maybe ask them why they're voting the way they are, Hendrik.
What did you vote?
I voted blue.
Why?
Because I really like such a young person, so dynamic, so well presenting. Really, the energy you feel from that is for me the
You believe in him. What did you vote?
I voted red.
Why?
I think he's more mature and more ready with his plan. The blue guy has energy, but he's not that much, there.
Okay, cool. Questions?
Very good.
Just to get this clear for the red one, you are offering the solution to creating clean oceans. And the shortage of the energy that we're facing, which is really real.
So you vote for him?
Well, you have a question.
Well, I was just mentioning this because
I
think it's.
Well, is it a question or is it a statement?
This is a question which is more of a wink than a question.
I don't think I quite get what the question is.
What is the answer?
My question, which, obviously I know the answer to, but the question is, so your proposal is actually a ready-made, full organized solution to,
Well, you're asking a question you know the answer to. Why do you ask the question?
Luck, man.
Next one.
I'm with you.
I have a question for the red corner.
Yes.
How green is your product?
Sorry, how?
Green. How environmentally friendly is it?
Hey, this is Martin. It is, it reduces ridiculous amounts of emissions, CO2 and local emissions and pollution in the water, so very clean. And actually, we're working on a cradle-to-cradle version, so I would argue it's super clean.
Hendrik,
I'm missing my box. How would you like this?
So another question to the red corner. What kind of performance figures does the boat have?
Oh yes, totally forgot. So top speed 40 knots and a cruising speed of 25 knots, and then it gets a range of 80 kilometers, which is unheard of in this sector.
Super.
Okay,
Hendrik, we are done.
Okay.
Our champions have voted. So I think, gentlemen, it's time for a drum roll to see whether we have gone for the blue corner or the red corner.
Oh my God.
Which way
the winner is
blue corner!
Yes, congratulations.
All right.
Well done, sir. Superb. Gentlemen, you have a wonderful ring lady to take you out of the ring, and we will be hearing a little more from you later.
Let me shake your hand, and I grab my
Thanks again.
my boat. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keith, I'm here. We have two champions voting blue and one in red. Stephen, why do you disagree with your colleagues?
Well, because I quite frankly think that there is at least some of a market for electric boats. And if you have something that's really exclusive and it serves a really good purpose, as in being environmentally friendly, I think it deserves some love.
He's not going to Singapore, but maybe you can help him with some connections. Could you do something for him?
Who knows? We could talk.
Okay, you can have a meeting with him. Arrange
Great.
that at least. Thanks.
Hendrik, I think you're heading over to the bar now.
Yes. I have some important people on my bar talk. Welcome. Jan Kees.
Hi.
Last year you were a champion. This year you're in the bar drinking, which is also something pleasant.
Much more relaxed here.
You had a meeting at 4 o'clock, I think, with Costa. What is Costa and what did you discuss there?
Yeah, so Costa stands but maybe it's like a great contact and also great cooperation between corporates and startups. But for a lot of reasons, it's very difficult to really excel on this cooperation. And that's why we as corporates in the Netherlands have said we want to help startups, but we're also helping ourselves. And we learn from each other on how to improve, to cooperate with startups. So this afternoon we had a meeting with corporates and also startups to discuss what can we learn about the failures and the successes of other corporates on how they have implemented it. For example, at KPN, we have our KPN Ventures set up, a fund. We have new business, and both directly under the board of management. This is very important. And we also have separated somewhat the change from the run organization, but also we have a liaison and also a search and qualify team to engage with a lot of startups and also try to make them better, their life better, incorporating with KPN. So we learn from each other in Costa as corporates on enhancing the cooperation between corporates and startups.
And you're not only talking, because you also do. I think from today we'll start a challenge with Get in the Ring, which means that startups from all around the world will apply for a challenge that KPN has. What is the challenge?
Yeah, well, as KPN, so that's a challenge we today announced together with Get in the Ring organization. The challenge is we are sitting on a pile of data as KPN. Only on voice alone, we are talking about each day they generate more than 100 million call detail records, 100 million per day with a lot of interesting data. But also we generate terabytes of data each second of the day. Terabytes of different data. We are sitting on a pile of data and we want to enhance our customer relationship with the data, but we need more intelligence. So we need a smarter discovery on this huge pile of data, and we need new techniques because present day techniques are not sufficient, and we need, besides smart discovery, also better analytics and artificial intelligence to automatically detect different relations and advises the organization on how to improve the customer experience based on the data. 2 items, a startup can do both or each of them, and that's the challenge we today announce together with how to get there and Get in the Ring organization. How can we improve our huge data and how can we improve this performance? And we need really new artificial intelligence techniques in improving that.
So startups can apply on getinthering.co, and in the end there's a winner and he gets a pilot contract with KPN. So it's not only talking and showing, but you really will pick a startup and start a pilot project with them.
Absolutely. You win a paid proof of concept, a pilot project at KPN. You also win the full support and coaching, exclusive coaching of the KPN new business team, and you win a place at the table of KPN Ventures if you're interested in an investment.
Perfect. Next to me I have ASML, and ASML is also trying and willing to date with startups and to see what they can do with that. Why is ASML interested in that?
Well, thank you, Hendrik. That's a good
Sorry,
question.
and I introduce Rob, of course.
Okay. Let me finish that. Rob van der Werf, ASML. Why is ASML interested in startups? And that is actually a thing that we are at the moment trying to figure out. We have not really a history of working with startups. We are a single product company. Mm-hmm. Although we have 4,000 people in research and development, most of it is a master or a PhD. But by just being so much dedicated to one thing, it's very hard.
And what is that thing? Semiconductors, right?
That is a semiconductor manufacturing tool. Let's say a machine that makes chips, yeah? As we hear often in the news. So that means that if you make one product and you have all these people, you build up a tremendous amount of expertise and competences, not only in the field of research or development, but also we have a vast network of suppliers. We also have a lot of things learned in terms of, let's say, IP and legal stuff related with technology. And we work with universities, knowledge institutes, and all kinds of governmental organizations. Now, what we are trying to do now is to figure out somehow how we can deploy that to startups and see whether we can actually bring them further. And that is to make use of all the things that we have. And now you may ask, what is then in it for ASML? Well, I think if we do that in our region, typically the high-tech manufacturing region, the Brainport region in Brabant, we think we can build a kind of an ecosystem that really helps us also further thrive our business. And maybe, who knows, we figure one out that does something really amazing and maybe the next ASML.
What do you think is the biggest challenge to collaborate with startups?
The biggest challenge, I think, is to find the startup that actually we can work with. Because we have...
Are you so difficult?
Quite demanding. If we want to, let's say, pick up our system engineers, put them in front of a startup, there is some dynamics ongoing. And that is, I think it's a challenge to manage that. But once you have that in place, I think, and we have seen some examples, we see some really amazing stuff coming up.
Cool. You also have a challenge at Get in the Ring, which is open now. We have a lot of startups in the room. Why should they apply? Well,
I would love to see anybody apply, any startup that feels that he can make use of the things that we have built up over, let's say, the last 30 years. So we are really trying to find startups not only in the region of chip manufacturing, because that is probably too much to ask, but anything that actually can be making use of what we have in-house. Anything which is high-tech manufacturing, we would love to look into that and see whether we can get them on board using the Get in the Ring.
Perfect.
And we have some very, very nice things for the winners in place. Yep.
www.getinthering.co. APM Terminals is a terminal company, and you are a daughter of Maersk. You also are experimenting to see how you can collaborate with startups. Why should you do that as a terminal company?
Well, just to give you an impression, we are moving 6 million containers on an annual basis. And that is a pretty simple job. It's putting a container on a vessel or taking it off. And that's about it. So our baseline business is a fairly simple business. But if you want to lift it to the next generation, the next level, the next performance ambition, then you have to find the initiatives that are challenging. Challenging for you as an established company, but also challenging for the startups that we are looking for. So it's looking for the next level. It's the bunny hop that we're looking for. It's not the catch-up that we're looking for.
And APM Terminals has already the most innovative terminal in the world, right? So you're already innovative. Why should you have startups then?
Yes, of course. We are very proud to say, and I think it has been on the national news, that we have opened a fully automated and integrated terminal on Maasvlakte 2. So we are very proud. We are very proud of the achievement that we have. But you cannot rest at the moment that you have that achievement. It's about pushing and pulling to the next level. And that is basically driving our daily performance in terms of making better use of what we put in the soil. Okay. But it's also looking beyond the horizon in order to take it to the next level. And let's not forget that that next horizon is basically the core of one of the strengths of the Netherlands, one of the strengths of the port of Rotterdam. We are talking about the logistics vein of Western Europe. So we must take it to the next level.
Okay, also this challenge for startups is online. You can apply from now on. So my last guest, Aniek, we're talking about startup corporate collaboration. We're talking about how to do that, but you actually are doing it. You're from High Tech XL. What is High Tech XL?
Yeah, we have a strategic plan, and that's called doing things. And that's still what our corporate partners amazes them, because we actually do it. What we do, we have a high-tech hardware program in which we accelerate the startups together with our corporate partners. So not only do they support them with their expertise, their network, but they also need to supply mentorship and actually adopt one of the startups and become a launchpad.
And what is the success of this collaboration? Because you already did it for a few times.
Yeah.
What do you see?
What I see is that because we make the corporates adopt a startup, they really have to work together. And that can be either by being a development partner, or it can be a lead customer. And just by doing so, you learn and you get a bit more secure on how this whole stuff works, how this game is played. What actually also works is turning it the other way around. So what we did is have corporate innovation teams in our startup program and see if we can accelerate them with the same startup methodology.
Okay, High-Tech Excel is in Eindhoven.
Right.
You have a program every...
Two times a year.
2 times a year. What kind of startups are you looking for?
High-tech hardware. We like things that are being built. We have corporate partners like ASML and like Philips. So part of it is MedTech, but we also like the machines. And maybe to give an example, which I think Rob relates to, we have one of the teams in our current program that starts the 28th of November. They have made a machine which enables us to have plastic waste of bottles, turn that into stones, into tiles. Well, that might seem easy, or not easy. For me, it doesn't sound easy. But this is, I think, a good example of what we have in Eindhoven. That's why we are a vertical. We have high precision engineering skills, for example, with the cooperation with ASML. And that's where we focus on.
Perfect. Aniek, High-Tech Excel, thank you. Jan Kees, KPN, Bob, Piet, ASML, IPM Terminals, thank you very much. We go to the battle tree. Keith, where are you?
We do, Hendrik.
Hey, Mr. Wallace.
I came over here because we had this wonderful intermezzo, because the Get in the Ring experience is getting bigger and bigger, and it's so important that we have partners around the table like this, so thank you. But let's get back to the startups over there. I'll leave you to the bar, Hendrik.
And for startups that are interested, you can apply for a lot of challenges, Philips, Nuon, APM Terminals, KPN, and we connect you to them.
Wonderful.
Keith.
Super. Are we ready for the final battle of today? Oh, come on, we can do better than that. Are we ready for the final battle of today? Excellent. It's time for the heavyweight battle. This one's going to be good. So, let's start the music and let's invite some people to the stage. In the blue corner, we have Melon. And in the red corner, we have Zwieber, represented by Rick and Lieke. Welcome. Come on down. Welcome to the ring, gentlemen.
Hi, Keith.
Thank you. Good to see you.
See you too.
You too. The crowd are ready for a battle royal. You have the biggest valuations of the people we've seen this evening, which means we expect more of you. And it also means that the audience are going to boo when they don't like something you say, and cheer when they like something you say. Are you up for that, audience? Good. Well, you have to win this crowd, because if you don't win the crowd, you can't win the Electoral College of the Champions over there. So, without further ado, let us start across here in the red corner. Sir.
Thank you. Well, my name is Rick Goud, I'm Ziver, and privacy and cybersecurity is hot. Hardly a day goes by without some big news about a data breach, but most people think of keeping out hackers when they think about a data breach. Well, actually for organizations there are two much bigger challenges. One is secure communication, as almost all people in all organizations use normal email for communication, while actually that is a very insecure protocol. And B is preventing human errors from happening, because that is actually the largest reason for data leaks. For example, think of sending someone the wrong file. You probably all know that feeling. And that is where we at Ziffer come in. We have a unique platform that allows for the secure chat, email, and file transfer for everybody around the world. And it's darn simple, because we integrate with Outlook, so that people do not need to change their way of working. And we have our own apps that work like just any other popular app and work on any other device. So we at Ziffer just made secure communication simple again.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Making secure conversations
simple.
Simple.
Yeah.
Wonderful. He can even sum it up in a sentence. Can you be that clear?
I'm going to try.
Good luck.
Let's start with this. Mellon has reinvented suturing. We are a medical device company that has developed a platform technology that allows for suturing with a single hand. With our single patient use device, the medical specialist can perform a high-quality suture in at least half the time. In complex medical procedures, this reduces the risk to severe complications and therefore improves patient outcomes. And as a cherry on the pie, it reduces overall healthcare costs.
Thank you. Very nice. Let's have a round of applause. It's always disappointing when two people in the ring start smiling at each other. We want to see a bit more aggression. Come on, take up a stance. You're in a boxing ring. Try. Good. Gentlemen, it's time to get on to round one. Team.
Sure. We boast a team of dedicated professionals. We combine valuable medical expertise with corporate, commercial, and entrepreneurial experience. We are supported by trusted partners who have a track record in the medical device industry.
Thank you. Even before the bell.
Yeah, great. Well, my team consists of 24 people, of which half are developers. I have studied medical informatics, and I have a PhD on decision support systems in healthcare. And I worked as a strategy consultant for 6.5 years before starting Ziffer. And my two fellow co-founders are IT guys that worked as a developer at various startups. The rest of my team has decades of experience in marketing, business, IT, and sales. And to prove that we have a better team, about 6 months ago, we hired a designer that developed his device to become our UI and UX designer.
I feel this is going to get better. Gentlemen, let's move on. Achievements.
We've developed our platform until this summer and validated with end users during this summer and released our 2.0 version this October, which is ready to scale up nationally and both internationally. And currently about 25 large, mainly healthcare organizations use Ziffer for their secure communication, and on a weekly basis new organizations enroll. Furthermore, besides various other awards, recently we won the National Privacy Innovation Award. We were elected as one of the top innovators by 30% of all Dutch hospitals. And next week we are one of the finalists of the Sprout Challenger Award.
A lot of awards on that side. Have you done something real?
Well, first of all, chapeau. We started from scratch. And in a time span of about 3 years, we developed a fail-safe test model with which we performed successful procedures on live animals. We recently got international recognition by the vascular community and by the industry because we won this year's Charing Cross International Symposium, Dragon's Den in London.
All right, gentlemen, you have discussed your achievements. But let's look how much money there is to be made by both of these companies that have such high valuations. So we'd like to know your business model. We'd like to know your market. Time for round 3.
We have a very simple business model, which is a freemium model for consumers and a paid subscription user-based model for organizations, which for large organizations goes as low as below €1 per employee per month. And that's for email, chat, and file transfer included. However, this simple business model opens up a multi-billion market as all organizations around the world use email and file transfer on a daily basis. So with the simple middle model, we are ready to conquer the world.
Wow. A shake of the head from the other side, but I'm sure there's a lot more in your model.
Sure, well, we have a scalable business model as we can suture all tubular and layered structures, giving access to a wide array of medical disciplines. Our annual market, the global surgical suture market, amounts to some $3.5 billion. Now, initially, we will focus on the cardiovascular segment, which amounts to about 1/3 of that particular market.
Good. Then, gentlemen, we move on to round 4. Round 4 are financial propositions. I would suggest that you look a little more in this direction, as we have most of our VIPs on the stage here, although some are hiding in the audience. Let's hear about your financials and let's hear a proposition to the room.
Sure. To date, we've raised some 3.5 million euros, and we're seeking an additional 7 million euros to finance our manufacturing phase and our market introduction in the Netherlands and Germany. In return, we offer a significant minority stake, and of course, being part of something bigger, saving lives.
Let's have a round of applause for that. He's saving lives on that side.
Yeah, that's my goal too. But
let's hear about it.
On a different level. We are looking for both resellers and investors to scale up. We're looking for about 2 million euros to scale both nationally and internationally to prepare ourselves for the European conquer in 2018, as new legislation will surface in May 2018 on European level. To date, we have raised about 1.2 million euros, and since October, our contract value represents about 400,000 of yearly recurring revenue, and our seed funnel exceeds 1 million.
Very nice. Gentlemen, let's have a final shake of hands. Take the boxing gloves off and win. It's time for our final round. It's time for the heavyweight freestyle. You're going to get the last word. We start over here.
Okay, thanks. Well, his proposition is great, but our innovation is going to impact many more people and has a much larger upside. And actually, the secure communications field is the hottest market at the moment. And to prove it, check nu.nl headline number 6 or your push notification, because there was just a press release saying that the hack of the private mailbox of Minister Kamp, 20 top secret documents were leaked, including state secrets. Do you need more proof that secure communication is the next big thing?
Ooh, it's the next big thing.
Well, thank you very much, Rick, for your kind words. Well, I guess the choice tonight is about either protecting your data or feeling your heartbeat and saving lives.
Oh. So, will the audience be ruled by heart or head? Gentlemen, I think it's time for us to have a few questions from our champions. Hendrik, are you there with a microphone?
Of course.
Wonderful.
Who wants to go first? Ladies first?
Let's swap over to where you're supposed to be. There we go.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. Sorry.
The question is for Red Corner.
Yeah.
So what differentiates you from your competition? That's not clear for me.
Yeah, because most competition focus only on email or chat or file transfer and only do the encryption part. Because end users just want to communicate and they do not want to know why they want to use email, because nobody understands if you want to share a large file of over 10 megabytes, why doesn't the email support that? So what we do is not think in silos or think in protocols, but we do communication, and that is what the user really wants, instead of choosing separate apps for different applications.
Are you satisfied with the answer?
It's quite clear, thanks.
Okay. Steven?
Yeah, I got a question for Melon. I'm just curious, what would you do as kind of gross margins on this product as your business starts to scale?
Thank you, Stephen, for that question. It's a very important question. We expect gross margins above 75%.
That would be great.
I'm enjoying these short questions and answers.
A question for Ziver, for Rick. And again, I don't want to refer to the US too often, but a lot of heavyweight champion fights are fought in the US. A solution, if you refer to a connection to Outlook, which is basically invented in the US, you need strong ties to the big companies out there. How do you currently have strategic relationships with companies and partners out there in the large ecosystem of the existing communication service, whether it's Outlook or any of the other communication service?
Yeah, we are a preferred or premium partner with Microsoft because they think that our platform enriches their platform. However, we think it's important to keep to being European, because in every conversation that I have with a potential customer, they say, you're not going to be American, right? Because then encryption will be, by Mr. Trump's ideas, we need to ditch encryption, etc. So I think it's real strength to be European, giving the high standards of security and privacy, and that's a real selling point for us until now.
Do you agree?
Fair point. I think that using kind of the encryption angle to say, hey, we're European and we would like to stay that way, I think that's a good point. What I miss is the knockout. I mean, we have heavyweights. Heavyweights usually have long fights, but then there's somewhere the real knockout. I haven't heard it yet.
Mr. Wallace.
Well, I think someone used that feather-like blow of saying it was all about saving lives. That seemed to win the audience.
We're gonna see.
It might be
what is your knockout
that it worked. So do we want to have one last statement from our two heavyweights to show why they should win? Are we up for that? Gentlemen, it's time to put away those featherweight punches and bring out some heavyweight ones. One final sentence on why you should win. Yeah. Take him down.
Yeah, well, I think that saving or securing somebody's privacy is almost as important as being healthy, because if your privacy is being invaded, then how happy can you be? If your insurance company, for example, knows what medical disorders you have, what other people know what your privacy is, do you really have a life? So I don't think that being medically healthy is just the same or better as being happy in a broader sense.
Okay, controversial. But basically you're saying there's no point in having health if you can't afford the health care. How do you respond to that, sir?
I think we truly have an opportunity here. We can make a real difference. We can make a difference by helping medical specialists, helping patients better. And in the process, reducing overall healthcare costs, which means that with the money that we save, we can actually protect our data better.
Oh. Okay, let's turn the lights down a little, because it's time to see those wonderful glow sticks waving. Okay, who is who? Who is blue? Blue, who are you?
Luke, Melon, sorry, what was the question?
Who are you? Why should they vote? For you, it's blue.
Right, okay, so I should stand over here?
Stand there.
Okay, there we go.
Super. You're red. Let's see the blue sticks waving. The blue, cheer for blue. Very nice. Let's stick up those red glow sticks. Let's hear a cheer for red. I'm afraid I think the audience has gone with blue rather than red, but remember, the audience are just a consultative assembly. Their vote can be overridden by the three individuals up there.
Okay,
you know what?
Questions.
I think it's time for questions.
Oh yeah.
You choose red. Why?
well, privacy is very important, especially in this Asian day.
Okay, cool.
As he said, if I don't have privacy, there's no reason to be alive. Just kidding.
What did you vote?
I voted none, actually. I cannot decide.
No? What did you vote?
I voted blue
Why?
because he appealed to my emotional feelings.
Oh! Only emotional, or? What did you vote?
I vote red because I think it's much more skatable.
Cool. Questions from the audience? Someone?
I have a question for the blue corner. I love your product. I have more of like technical question. Can you, besides making like cardiovascular sutures, also make like special sutures like continuous, Donati, or like interrupted ones? Or is it just one simple type of suturing?
It's a very good question. Thank you very much. What we're basically doing is we're not changing the way we suture, but we can do it more precise and faster. And that is important in a procedure.
Super. We have time for one last question from the audience.
Cheers. Question for Ziffer. I was curious about what you think about protecting your technologies. How do you think about intellectual property, or maybe open sourcing your software? I'm curious. How do you plan to either protect that or to open it up?
No, basically, I am into opening it up, and everybody that wants to see our code, for example, we let our code be hacked by hackers to be open, because we think that encryption or protecting your privacy is important, and well, I think that everybody should benefit as a community from knowledge that we build up, as we profit from knowledge that we get from other companies. So I'm really for the open type.
Thank you. Hey, Mr. Kuppe. I have here the Global Director of the Get in the Ring Foundation. And I think it's also good to ask some questions to you. What do you think of today?
I think today really shows where we as Get in the Ring want to go to. And I'm very happy with the outcome. It's getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yesterday you were in South Korea, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit smaller. The pitches were, in English, a little bit less good, I think. But it's the same vibe going on there, and it's all with the same goal of connecting startups to investors and companies globally. But if you don't mind, Hendrik, of course, we practiced this before.
Go on stage.
For a second. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that it's been a long day. I know that everyone wants to see the winner of this evening, and that you want to go for the drinks. But before that, I want to take a moment to highlight 3 things. First of all, you maybe know Get in the Ring as a competition, as an event, as it's happening here today. But we are doing more, way more than that. And all with the ambition to connect startups to investors, to potential clients, and potential talent that they can work with. And as such, in the last year only, we've been doing challenges with large corporates in the Netherlands, but also outside the Netherlands, to challenge startups globally to work with these companies on concrete projects, to do business together. And as of today, you just saw a few of them on stage, we launched 3 challenges with ASML, KPN, and APM terminals. And startups can apply now. You can go to getinthering.co/challenges and see how you can work with those companies. Second, for the winners, we already seen 2 of them, and the final one will be decided in a minute. They will go to a global conference in May 2017.
Zometeen maken de winnaar.
Hendrik's mic.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine, Hendrik. We know that from you. The winners will go to a global conference in May 2017, where they will compete against 200 startups that we fly in from all the countries where we organize Get in the Ring. They will battle, they will network with leading investment funds, and I can assure you that you will have a lot of fun. Last year we did this in a city that probably most of you know as a former most dangerous city in the world, coke capital Medellin. We had a lot of fun over there, but this year we're going to the opposite side. We're going to a city that's probably the safest, the cleanest in the world, but we're still going there with the same goal. The city will be Singapore, May 2017, 17th, 18th, and 19th of May, and I invite all of you, if you want, to join us there. Jurgen has an idea to charter an airplane. I think we can make it happen. A whole bunch of Dutch people, at least this group here behind me should be part of that. 200 people in an airplane, angels in the cloud or something. Sounds like a good idea too. Last but not least, since we started, we've been supported by many partners. By you, the audience, by jury members that have been involved, by partners that joined us in activities, such as the matchups that took place today, the sessions at the How to Get There Summit. But I want to highlight 3 partners that did a little bit more. And yes, that is an understatement. 3 partners that have been supporting us financially in organizing the events, and we really want to support startups globally together with them. First of all, the Erasmus University. They were the first partner to host this event with us in the Netherlands, and year after year they've been growing it, up to this edition. Second, APM Terminals, that we launched the challenge with today. And last, EY, who's been involved with organizing this day, has been involved in activities in other countries as well, and that we are setting up a program together with to not only connect startups to corporates, but also make that collaboration go smooth and get to a global scale. I want to invite them to the stage. Patrick Gabrielsen, Martin Luxemburg from ECE, Peter Hartog from APM Terminals. Please give them a big round of applause for their support. And I believe it's time for drinks. So Keith.
Yes, well, you know, I think we've been keeping you waiting for long enough for the winner, but there's just a little bit longer to wait, because I'd like to invite the other 2 winners of this evening to join us, and our fine champions who asked such amazing questions. Let's have a big round of applause for the champions. Where are our startups? Where are our 2 winners from the previous rounds? Come join us here in the ring, because this is the time that we say our thank yous to all of you, because we know the minute we announce the winner, you're all going to go and have some drinks. So, it's been a great show again. It's been an amazing show. Hendrik, always to co-host with you is such fun. I'd like to thank you all for coming. I'd like to invite you to be there in Singapore, and most importantly, to support the startups that you see here on the stage and in the room, because the networking will start now.
We're not finished. DJ, are you ready? Okay, drinks. Bartenders, beer. Okay, we can have a party. But before we have a party, the winner of the heavyweight battle, Gathering 2016 in the Netherlands, is Mr. Wallace? Yeah, he said this one. Thomas zijn.
Everyone, we will be having some photo moments right now. The networking starts. Let's get some business out there. Well done, champions. Well done, everyone.
Picture. 1, 2, 3. Ha!
Whoa! Let's see you all next year. Get in the ring. Let's go do some business. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and good night.